final chapter of A Treasure Discovery by LizzeXX. Um, this is basically the end of A Treasure Discovery, but there will be a part two for the Heart of Time saga, which is what this group of stories is called. So let's get on with the final chapter. And if you want to follow along, check the link to both Archive and Fanfiction.net, or in the description below for you to pick and choose which one you want to follow along to. It doesn't really matter, but the final chapter, I believe, of this one will have of Archive will have an embedded picture at the end. That's the only difference, I think. Archive has pictures in some of the chapters. Anyway, let's just get right into this. Chapter 24: The Parting of the Ways. An Angel of Time. Rose slumped in the captain's chair, defeated, staring into space as her mother stood before her. It was never going to work, sweetheart. She tried to console her. And the doctor knew that. He just wanted you to be safe. I can't give up, she told her. Lock the door, walk away. Dad wouldn't give up. Well, he's not here, is he? And even if he was, it'd say the same. No, he wouldn't, Rose said, and her mother stared at her, shocked she would say that. He'd tell me to try anything. If I could save the doctor's life, try anything. Well, we're never going to know. Well, I know, 'cause I met him. I met Dad. Don't be ridiculous, Jackie murmured quietly. They took me back in time, and I met Dad. Don't say that. Remember when Dad died? Rose asked, her voice cracking. There was someone with him. Jackie stared at her in disbelief. A girl, a blonde girl. She held his hand. Rose started shouting, frustrated. You saw her from a distance, Mum. You saw her. Think about it. That was me. You saw me. Stop it, Jackie shouted abruptly. That's how good the doctor ain't. Stop it, Jackie cried, tears in her eyes. Just stop it. She ran out the TARDIS, leaving Rose alone to cry in her grief. Linda, the doctor yelled through the calm as he and Angel worked. What's happening on Earth? The fleet's descending, Linda replied quietly. They're flying whole continents. Europa, Pacifica, the New American Alliance, Australia. Yes, it's just gone. Jack ran to floor 499. Floor 499, he called to the programmers. We're the last defense. The bullets should work if you concentrate them on the Dalek's eye stalk. I've got the force field at maximum, so the Dalek fire should be at its weakest. He positioned himself with the other volunteers behind the barricade, waiting. I'm already here because of you, Javich said to the female programmer. I joined the program because you were on it. Am I supposed to say, when this is all over and we're still alive, maybe we go for a drink? She asked him. That'd be nice. Yeah, well, tough, she replied. He looked at her, but she just winked at him with a smile. Before they released the safety on their guns. Ready. Before they released the safety catches on their guns. Ready. Mickey and Rose were leaning against Mickey's car, looking at the TARDIS. There's got to be something else we could do, he muttered. Mom was right, Rose sighed. Maybe we should just lock the door and walk away? I'm not having that. I'm not having you just give up now. No way. He shook his head, and if it wasn't just her, and it wasn't just her, not anymore. Hearing her talking about how the Doctor and Angel were trapped in the future, probably about to die, it upset him. True, he didn't care for the Doctor much, the man tending to make him feel more of an idiot than he already believed himself to be. But he didn't wish the man dead, and he especially didn't want angels to get hurt. That girl, she'd actually made him smile and feel accepted, like he'd really been a part of the whole group when they stopped Margaret. She watched out for him and stuck with him, helped him. The least he could do was try to help her in return. We just need something stronger than my car. Something bigger. Something like that. He looked over her shoulder to see a huge yellow recovery truck drive around the corner by Jackie. Rose grinned in amazement at the sight of her mother climbing out. Right, Jackie said. You've only got this until 6 o'clock, so get on with it. Where the hell did you get that from? Rose asked, astonished. Rodrigo, he owes me a favour. Never mind why, but you were right about your dad's sweetheart. He was full of mad ideas, and this is exactly what he would have done. Now, get on with it before I change my mind. She tossed the keys to Mickey, who caught them, and hurried into the truck while Rose went to attach the chain. The volunteers pointed their guns behind the makeshift wall as the Daleks glided in. Open fire! Jack ordered. They started firing madly at the Daleks, the sounds drifting up to 400 or 500. But the Daleks advanced, unaffected. It's not working! Devitch jumped down to talk to Jack. Concentrate your fire. I stop. 2 o'clock. A volunteer continued to fire, the bullets just dropping to the ground as they hit the force field. One bullet, though, managed to catch one in the eye stalk. My vision isn't bad, it cried. I cannot see. We did it! The female program cheered. A moment before a bolt hit her, killing her. No! Devitch screamed. No! He turned in a rage and fired madly at the Daleks over the barricade, only to be hit by a bolt as well, leaving Jack and the volunteer to continue. I've got a problem. Linda's voice came over the comm, as the Doctor and Angel rushed around at the sound of firing still below them. Human female detected. They could hear Dalek. They found me. Linda breathed, terrified. You'll be all right, Linda, the Doctor reassured her. That side of the station's reinforced against meteors. Hope so, she said, but they could hear her voice shaking. Know what they say about Earth's workmanship? Then the noise of sparks sounded. The Daleks were trying to cut through the door. Linda, Angel called, hearing silence, her hand hovering around the bracelet. They're surrounding me, Linda gasped. There was the sound of glass smashing. Linda screamed and Angel activated the bracelet. The Doctor looked up in shock. You killed her. No, Angel shook her head. He turned sharply to face her, stunned and confused. She pulled off the bracelet and held it. Used the sonic to reprogram this to act as a teleporter. I sent it to the controller's midship. It should be far enough away by now to be safe. He nearly beamed at her, about to hug her, thrilled, when they heard Jack yelling over the comm. Last man standing! For God's sake, Doctor, finish that thing and kill them! Finish that thing and kill mankind, the Emperor said. They looked over to see the Emperor watching them on the screen before they glanced at each other and got back to work. Jackie watched, standing just outside the TARDIS doors, as Mickey drove the truck. Rose standing by the console watching the train stretch. Keep going, Rose shouted. Put your foot down, Jackie called to Mickey, and he did so. Faster! Give it some more, Mickey. The metal began to creak, and Rose smiled. Keep going! Come on, come on! Jackie nearly jumped up and down in anticipation. The chain grew more and more taut, Rose growing hopeful. Keep going! Give it some more! The chain tightened until finally the truck lurched forward as the chain snapped off the TARDIS, trailing out the doors after it. Jackie jumped back to avoid it. No! Rose shouted, her one last hope gone as she kicked and beat the console. Rose! Mickey jumped out of the car, turning to the TARDIS to see her in rage. He and Jackie just reached the doors when they slammed shut. Rose fell back against the console, sobbing, not even noticing the doors until... Rose? A voice called. Rose gasped, looking up to see a projection of Angel, much like the one the Doctor had left her, but facing towards the console, standing in between two wide beams, her back to the doors. If this is playing, then you try to open the heart of the TARDIS. You won't be able to. I've set it so that it will only open with a very specific key. Where is it? Rose got up, moving to stand before her. I'll tell you where to find it, but first you must promise me something. Anything. You must promise to do exactly as I say. If the TARDIS senses, even for a second, that you aren't doing as I ask, then she will shut down and that will be it. Rose blinked and nodded. Good. The hologram gave a small nod. You must have honestly accepted if continues to play. So, on the console there's a round panel with what looks like a figure 8 on it. Rose ran over, looking around the console quickly, finding it. Lifted it up, and inside there is a sort of small cylinder with holes on the side. Rose popped open and found the small grey item on a string. Now, you must listen to this first, Rose, before doing anything else. Rose turned around, staring at the projection intently, the key clutched in her hand. What is it? There'll be a small hole on top of the panel that opens the heart of the TARDIS. You place the cylinder in it, use it like a key. But when the panel opens, you must hold the cylinder before you. It will absorb the heart into the cylinder and set off a predestination flight plan that overrides Emergency Program 1. The cylinder is biocoded to me. It will guide the TARDIS right back to me, to the Doctor. Now, this is very important, Rose. She took a breath. As soon as you land, as soon as you open those doors, make sure I get the cylinder. She paused. You mustn't look into the heart, no matter what. When it opened last time, I felt it. I'm afraid it will destroy you if you do, and she hesitated. I think it might destroy the Doctor too. So please, do as I say. She offered a small smile. Good luck. The projection broke down and Rose ran to get to work. Jack ran down the corridor backwards, shooting in vain at the Daleks as they advanced on him. You got 20 seconds maximum, he shouted through the comm. Rose shoved the key into the panel, twisting it till the panel popped up slightly. She pulled it out quickly to dangle it before her by the string as the panel opened completely, holding it up to the light, looking away into her arm as it swarmed into it, the TARDIS taking off, flying through the vortex. Jack's bullets ran out as he reached the end of the corridor. He tossed the gun aside and pulled another out of a smaller one, firing that, only for it to run out as well. He tossed it to the ground before facing them squarely, defiantly, his back against the wall. Exterminate! They cried, raising their laser arms. I kind of figured that, he muttered, opening his arms, closing his eyes, bracing himself. Ready. The Daleks fired, killing him dead. The Doctor pulled up a lever on the device they put together. It's ready! He turned to Angel behind him, only to see Daleks roll into the room surrounding them. You really want to think about this? The Doctor warned them, as Angel stood as well, looking around, forced even closer to him by the swarm. Because if I activate the signal, every living creature dies. I am immortal, the Emperor remarked over the monitor. You want to put that to the test? I want to see you become like me. Hail the Doctor, the great exterminator. I'll do it, the Doctor warned, putting his hands on the lever. Then prove yourself, Doctor. What are you, coward or killer? His hands tense, ready to pull, as he shook. His face screwed up in pain at the weight of what it would mean. It's all right, Angel said, standing beside him, putting her hand on his knees, her hand shaking as well. Everything will be all right. Trust me. He looked at her, seeing in her eyes that she was not encouraging him, but telling him it was all right to let go. So he did, glaring up at the Emperor as she backed away to stand behind him. Coward, any day. Mankind will be harvested because of your weakness, the Emperor laughed. And what about me? Am I becoming one of your angels? No, Angel answered. I am. The Doctor spun around, not even noticing she had walked a few feet away from him. She turned just as the sound of the TARDIS materialized. They reached them. Alert! A Dalek reported. TARDIS materializing. The Doctor watched in horror as the TARDIS appeared. You will not escape, the Emperor shouted. The doors burst open and Rose ran out, tossing something glowing gold on a chain to Angel. She snatched it in the air and pulled it over her head, the gold swirling out to surround her. Flowing into her, she hunched forward with a cry of pain. No! The Doctor yelled, realizing what was happening, that she was absorbing the heart of the TARDIS, the power of the vortex. Angel straightened slowly and turned around, the golden light surrounding her, casting a billowing breeze around her, the golden flecks of her eyes now entirely gold with the power of the vortex in her. He turned, he breathed, terrified, not of her, but for her. I have taken over the time vortex, she replied softly, her voice echoing. No one's meant to do that. He shook his head at her, alarmed. Especially not us. This is the abomination, the Emperor cried. Exterminate! Dalek shouted, firing at her. Angel held up a hand, the lasers freezing and reversing back into the Dalek as the Doctor blinked in amazement. "I saved the bad wolf," she replied, glancing sadly at Rose before turning back. "At first I create myself, a new being. I take the words." She looked up at the wall at the letters of the logo, waving her hand. "I scatter them in time and space." They started to rise and rustled off, disappearing. "Message to leave us here." "You got to stop this," the Doctor told her urgently. "You got to stop this now." "I know what to do," Angel said quietly, looking ahead at the Emperor. "You've got the entire vortex running through your head. I can feel it." "You're gonna burn," he cried, eyes wide in concern. He didn't know how long she could last. His hearts were racing. If she died, he didn't even want to think about that. "I want you safe." She looked at the Doctor, tears in her eyes. "I want creation safe." She looked up at the Emperor, protected from a false god and his disciples. "You cannot hurt me," the Emperor remarked. "I am immortal. You are tiny," she corrected. "I can see the whole of time and space. I see your very existence. I see everything you've done." She blinked, frowning, tears falling. She is angry. Her sisters are dead. The planet is destroyed, cut to dust. The time war ends now. "I cannot die." She looked up at the Daleks, holding out her hand again. "Everything, all things, must die." "I will not die." "As you wish." Angel blinked, holding both her arms out. The Doctor turned in a circle, watching as all the Daleks glow gold for a moment before turning to stone. Even the almighty Emperor, beaming off the station back to their own ship. He looked at the screen monitoring the Dalek ships, watching as they zoomed about, colliding with themselves, lack of pilots and controllers, burning and exploding in space. He spun to Angel as she lowered her arms. She wiped out the Daleks without killing a single one. "Angel," he breathed, moving to stand before her. "You've done it. Now stop. Just let go." "You know," she breathed. "There is one thing more." She closed her eyes, concentrating. Captain Jack gasped back to life. "Now give it back," the Doctor pleaded, and her eyes opened, her gorgeous green eyes glowing golden. "Please, you need to give it back." He couldn't lose her. "I can't," she cried, golden tears pouring down her face. "The power's gonna kill you." "You won't leave me," she breathed, sounding and truly terrified. "Angel." He stared at her in horror as the golden light grew more intense, all stemming from her necklace. He recognized it now. It was like a fission cell / container, much like how lights would be powered in the future. When installing such lights, the containers had to be biocoded to their handlers to protect them. The fission would burn the pans if not biocoded to be touched by a specific person. But those containers were completely useless in holding the true power of the vortex. Strong enough to keep it contained for a few moments, though, which was what had happened. Which was what was had happened. The power was siphoning off into Angel now, more and more the longer she wore it. "Telling you alive." "I know." He reached forward as though to pull the necklace off when she gasped. "Don't!" He looked at her. "Tighebo to me," she reminded him. "You can't take it off. The power. I can't move." She swallowed hard. "You need to leave." He shook his head. "We promised to take care of each other," stepping towards her. "We'll never leave you." He reached forward and gently pulled her into his arms, carefully leaning down and kissing her, the vortex flowing out of her eyes and into his as they did so. Slowly they parted, gazing at each other a moment before her eyes closed as she fell into his arms, unconscious. He held her close a moment before carefully laying her down on the floor, gently brushing a strand of hair out of her face, before standing, his eyes faintly glowing. "Rose, get out of the way," he called to the girl, huddled at the bottom of the TARDIS, watching the event with wide eyes. She quickly shuffled away as the doctor exhaled. Suddenly the water from his mouth to stream back through the doors and into the TARDIS. He felt as the heart of the TARDIS panel shut again, before leaning down to observe Angel, just stroking her face. Jack groaned and winced as he staggered through the doorway to floor 500, looking around in confusion at the empty area, when he heard the TARDIS engines roar to life. He ran over, only to see it dematerialize, leaving him stranded. And he knew what that meant. Angel was either unconscious or dead, because she would never let the doctor do that to anyone. He could only pray that she would be alright in the end. The TARDIS flew through the vortex as the doctor piloted, Rose sitting beside Angel on the floor, watching over the woman as the doctor explained to her what had happened back there. Angel groaned as her eyes fluttered open. Her head was killing her. Rose leaning forward to help her sit up. What happened? Don't you remember? The doctor looked at her, surprised. I do. She tried to smile, but winced, rubbing her head. Feels more like a dream, though. Nope, he laughed, though secretly pleased she might have just admitted to having dreams of kissing him. Never do that again, she replied with a nod to the now locked panel, reaching out to Rose as the woman helped her to her feet. Neither seeing the doctor glance down at his hand, his veins shimmering gold. Doctor, she breathed, and she looked up to see her eyeing him, worried. Rose supporting her. He smiled at them sadly. I was going to take you to so many places. Barcelona? Not the city Barcelona, the planet. You'd love it. Fantastic place. They got dogs with no noses. She laughed at that. Rose laughing as well, while Angel just watched him, concerned. Imagine how many times a day you end up telling that joke, and it's still funny. Then why can't we go? Rose asked. Be a nice vacation after all that. Maybe you will, the doctor shrugged. Maybe I will, but not like this. So, Angel breathed, seeming to realize what he was saying. It's not making sense. Rose shook her head at him, not having heard her, giving him a little grin. Taking a leaf out of Angel's book, eh? I might never make sense again, he said. I might have two heads, or no head, he laughed. Imagine me with no head, and don't say that's an improvement. Rose grinned. But it's a bit dodgy, this progress test. You never know what you're going to end up with. Suddenly he fell backward with a blast of golden light, wrapping his arms around his stomach as Rose ran forward, concerned. No, Angel shouted, pulling her back. We need to stay back. Stay away, the doctor agreed, wincing in pain. What's going on? Rose looked between them. Angel absorbed all the energy of the time vortex. No one's meant to do that. The doctor ground out. I pulled it out in time, but the process left me damaged. He groaned. It had been hard. That power hadn't wanted to leave her. Every cell in my body's dying. Can you do something? Rose cried, horrified. Yes, Angel explained. Animals can avoid death by... She looked at him sadly. Changing everything. Rose shook her head, not understanding. It's what I did. Angel tried to elaborate more. When the Daleks shot me in Van Stans Museum, I changed. Rose just shook her head more, and Angel realized she hadn't been close enough to see the differences between her old and new body. Probably didn't even notice the change in hair color, or left to her hair being really dirty. I'm not going to see you again, the doctor added. Not like this. Not with this dark old face. Doctor? Angel looked at him, feeling so incredibly guilty. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Not your fault, he smiled gently at her. Just before I go, say that, Rose shouted, cutting him off. Rose, Angel whispered. There wasn't much time. Before I go, I just want to tell you, you were fantastic, he beamed. Absolutely fantastic. The both of you. You know what? Rose shook her head, and he grinned. So was I. Rose smiled, nodding, as Angel watched, feeling even worse when the doctor convulsed, the orange energy of regeneration exploding for him. He threw his head backwards, his arms spread wide as the energy tore through him. They staggered back, bracing themselves against one of the wide beams, watching as his hair lengthened and his face changed and he grew slimmer. The energy suddenly died away, and a completely different man stood before them, still wearing the doctor's dark clothes and leather jacket. appearing slightly surprised for a moment. Hello, she began, and already they could tell he had a different accent to him. Okay, ooh, he gulped, running his tongue over his teeth, brow furrowed. New teeth, that's weird. So, where was I? Oh, that's right, Barcelona. He grinned at them widely. And that is finally the end. And right at the bottom of our frame, we have a little picture of Angel where she absorbs the time the heart to hardest thing. Yeah. So that's basically what it is. So I hope you enjoyed this story. I've enjoyed reading it and sharing Angel with you guys because I love her to bits. And like as we saw the chapter, or one of the reasons why I love her so much is because she was good at saving people. She literally saved Linda. She saved the controller, I think, in the last part, or like maybe I think in the last episode she might save them. I don't. No, wait, it would have been the last episode. Yes, so she saved the controller in her last episode. This episode she saved Linda, so I'm really happy with that. And that's gonna be a thing with Angel. She's gonna be able to save people. Oh, oh. And that's all I'm gonna say, so I don't spoil anything. So I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Go leave a review, comment, kudos. We're done here. But before you go, make sure to subscribe. I upload new videos every Friday and Saturday. I'll see you guys next Friday with a new video. Bye.